Hello, good people of YouTube. Sealord here, and today, as I fix the settings because the replay system still doesn't remember your settings, we have, well, as you guys have seen, a Paolo Emilio gameplay for you guys today. There we go. Man, I would think they would have fixed that by now, but of course they didn't. And the map opacity is set to maximum. There we go. But anyway, today we have Electric here and his Paolo Emilio. Now, the title of this video is probably something along the lines of "The ship is a one-trick pony, but it's a very good trick." And those of you that have watched us play it on stream know that it is in fact a very good trick. So, let's see what happens here, shall we? He's going to the B cap. So what he's doing here is exactly like the opposite of how I like to Paolo. Typically when you Paolo, you want to go to the edges of the map because that tends to be where the enemy usually pays the least amount of attention to whatever's going on. But man, he just went right up the middle. Which, you know, if you're playing a DD like an actual DD, is what you want to do. And looks like, yeah, he's got 7.1 conceal. He's got his brisk skill, which is what you want with Apollo, because the Apollo's whole thing, if you don't know, is that it's a torpedo delivery system. That's its one trick. You see that engine boost down there and that smoke? That'll get you from your detection range of 7.1 kilometers to the target ship within the duration of that exhaust smoke. So you pop it right on the edge of 7.1 kilometers, you run at the enemy ship, and you give them torpedoes. Now, these torpedoes are basically shimmy torpedoes. They're like 25k alpha per torp. You get 3 sets of torps. They can wipe out your average tier 9 battleship with 1 salvo. So, yeah, the intentions there are pretty clear. It's a fun, goofy ship to play. He's actually captured a cap in it, which is probably one more cap than I've ever capped in my Paolo Emilio. So no one's dead yet, which is very surprising. We are 2.5 minutes in, and no one's been sunk. Oh, well, Eindrak's about to break that streak right there. The enemy Eindrak, at least. So he's capped the B cap for his team with 0 support, and apparently the enemy didn't go down to the B cap either, so that's interesting. The A cap is being capped by the enemy team. C cap, looks like there's 2 enemy DDs there, but they've bugged off for now because they've met up with the friendly DDs, and we need to turn ship names onto the map as well. There we go. Now the HUD looks correct. I was wondering what was going on there. But the friendly Fletcher is the first to go down from the enemy Kitakaze. Quite the machine gun. But it looks like the ZF6 in the A cap is pushing up the Kagero. And again, Electric's pretty left alone here. This Eindrak, ooh, man. Now, if that Eindrak goes down, I think Electric to have a clear shot straight to the back lines of the enemy team, which is where you want to get an Apollo. Now, Apollo, too, it's also a really decent gunboat because like the Italian tech line DD, she does have SAP in her main guns. And that gives her good, consistent damage per salvo. You can easily get around 5 to 6k, oop, and there goes the friendly Kagero, 5 to 6k a salvo with Apollo. So while it's not the quickest firing DD, and about 5 to 6 salvos, if you aim right and RNG is with you, that's a dead enemy DD. Again, unless you're going against one of the larger ones like the Harugumo or the French DDs. But against most of the tier 9 DDs you're going to run into, you know, that's pretty formidable. So he spotted something here. What did he spot? Maybe the... What was that? That battleship that fired way out east? So friendly Alaska gets the Baltimore down. First enemy ship is sunk at 4.5 minutes. Again, we're approaching the 5-minute mark, and both teams still have multiple DDs alive, which is saying a lot for today's meta. So let's see. Yeah, he's running down the middle. Absolutely. See, this is a nice setup right here. If he's truly alone in the middle, he can go to the west and to the east and just have at it. Or he could go for the CV in the back and find him with his pants down. So let's see. He's going out to the west. Smart move. There's a Delaware right there that is very lonely. So we know that the ZF6 is way out west, the Jaeger's way out west, and of course the other two DDs are out east because they were just spotted over there not too long ago. So this Delaware, there's maybe... Oh, man, look at that. Oh, you're going for it. Oh, he's indecisive, I can tell. I've been in this situation many times with Apollo. Do you go after the BB or the lone CV? Because the CV, it takes a minute to get to the CV. But if you can get that CV out for your team, that is a huge strategic... Oh, yep. He's engaged the brain at this point, and he is, yep. I can tell. This is, again, very similar to what I go through when I'm playing Paolo. It's just like, you go down one line, you see a ship, like, it's a little far away, don't want to go for it, especially when it's a CV. But nope, he's selected his torpedoes. He's committed, I believe. Yep, there we go, fellas. 7.1 kilometers. He's popped his boost. So now, with most ships, obviously, if they're paying attention, they can see your smoke coming. They can usually turn out and run away. But CVs, for the vast majority of them, they take a hot minute to get up to speed because they're such massive ships. And this Shokaku, I don't think he's going to make it, boys. Let's see. Again, if you take out the Shokaku, that's a dead CV in the opening 10 minutes of the match. Oh, he went right to him, fellas. So here we go. One set of torps. Two set of torps just to be sure. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Dead enemy CV via a depth strike from Apollo. And the first, 6 minutes of the game. Beautiful. Alright, so the friendly team also managed to torpedo the enemy Shimakaze too. The Fletcher did. Alright, so his team has a huge advantage at this point. So now, do keep in mind, if anyone on the enemy team is paying attention, they know there's Apollo Emilio back here. And let's see what happens. Because a lot of times when I feature Paolo, I get a few comments saying, oh, the ship's completely unfair, yada, yada, yada. Really, if you are paying attention, it's so easy to screw over Apollo Emilio. If you're paying attention. Because it's just like any DD. If you put a light cruiser, or really, if you just know it's there, you can easily avoid it. Because the torpedoes only have a 6 kilometer range, right? Like, it cannot stealth torp you without the smoke screen. So, if you're looking around to your surroundings, you can see the 60 knot smoke screen moving toward you quite rapidly. So, if you pay attention to that, you can obviously avoid it by turning out, because yes, the Paolo Emilio is fast, but when two ships are closing, the closing speed is, of course, ridiculously high. When you turn out and you run, that decreases the Apollo's closing speed by, well, your top speed. So while he was overtaking you by 60 knots, plus your closing speed when you're going bow to bow, when you're running away from him, he's only overtaking you by like 20 or so knots, depending upon what ship you're in. Obviously, if you're in a slow battleship, obviously that's a different story. But still, it makes it a lot harder for him to get that perfect salvo off on you as well. Now, the Eindracht got taken out, which is great. So now Electric has his choice between FDG and Delaware. Methinks he's going to go for both. Personally, I'll go for the FDG first because he has Hydro. And if I could get that Hydro out of the fight, that's what I would want to do. Now, the FDG is running back here because, well, the friendly team is doing a very good job of murdering the enemy team at this point. And, Hydro ships too. They're really hard to deal with in the Apollo if they're paying attention because they just pop Hydro and then they ruin your day. So it looks like he's probably going to go for the Delaware first, then go for the FDG. Now the Delaware, if that guy's got his planes up, then he's of course completely oblivious to Electric's existence down here. And it looks like, I'm just looking at the map real quick, his planes are not up at the moment. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, no, he's definitely committed to the Delaware. Oh no, his planes are up, so this is just a free kill here, basically. Something in hybrids too. If you see this ship, really any D that's been spotted near your flank, you don't want to go into your planes because, again, once you launch them, you're stuck there until you drop the payload, and then, well, you come back and the Delaware, I guess, who's at 1/4 speed and not half or full, and now there's Apollo Emilio on your face, and your turrets are turned completely the opposite way. Ooh, secondaries take out the torpedo tubes, but the third tube is a 180 tube. He does get the third tube out, but it's not needed as the flooding does get the Delaware. Again, he's up in his planes. He cannot pop his repair party. I'm sorry, or his damage con. So, now It's just an FDG. So this FDG, he just saw him murder his CV. He just saw him absolutely murder his hybrid ship over here. So let's see, what's he going to do here? Is he going to wait till his smoke comes back off a cooldown, or is he just going to go for it? Now the FDG, of course, does have many a secondary gun, right? So you don't want to get spotted by one of these things, because Paolo is a big DD. It's got 27,000 HP. It was designed as a destroyer leader, so it's a big target. And when you get those secondary ships ripping you, that's no bueno. Looks like he's just going to maybe mill around here until his smoke screen comes off a cooldown in a minute and a half, which would be the smart thing to do. So I do wonder if he goes for this FDG, which again, I'm pretty sure he's going to do. Will the FDG use his Hydra? Now, oh man, the Jaeger though. The enemy Jaeger is aloft. Probably going after the Lexington with his crazy torps. Now the Jaeger is another one you can get awfully close to the enemy ships and just, ruin their day with torpedoes. The Jaeger is a little bit more sketch, shall we say, because there's no smoke involved, and it's not exactly the same devastating level of torpedoes. Hers are fast, but they don't hit that hard. You'd be surprised too, going back to the hydro ship thing, about how many times I've rushed hydro ships with Apollo and Emilio with a smoke screen, and they don't pop hydro because they're so dependent on seeing that yellow exclamation mark. That's the correct word, popping up, and letting that let them know, man, English is hard, fellas, that there's a ship about to ruin their day. So they don't, go out of binocular view and look around. That's how many a time you get someone with Apollo. They got that tunnel vision going on. They're not paying attention to their surroundings. That's why you'll see me, when I'm playing, I'll just hit right mouse every now and then, just take a little look left to right. Because I've been screwed over by too many torpedo rushes and random torpedoes to let that happen. And it still does too, because we still get tunnel vision. Oh, or is he going to go for the Soyuz? Ooh. Can he get there in time? Maybe. If the enemy team can get another kill, that might give him some more time there. Ooh, I did not see this happening. I thought for sure he was going to go for the FDG, fellas. But yeah, if you're in binocular view for a bit, it's a good habit to get in of just either hitting right mouse to go into free look, or slapping shift to go out of the binocular view and just take a look around. Because not everything in the game is going to pop up and let you know, hey, there's something that's about to murder you right now. You got to use your eyes, because you could see an errant set of torpedoes that could be submarine torps. They may not be going towards you. They may be passing by. They may be too far away for your torpedo warning to get set off, but you can visually see that they're still there. All right, so he did get hard spotted beforehand, but Soyuz does not have any Hydra or anything like that, and the FDG does take out the Harlem. Ooh, okay. So Soyuz is not turning out. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Like, he saw him, and he's just still sailing in a straight line. Now he's turning into the smoke. So again, yeah, you can avoid it. You just got to actually do the thing. I bet you he's tunnel division. His turrets are looking the exact opposite way. Now he's proximity spotted, and I bet you're going to see, yep, now he's turning. And I think his turrets are starting to rotate toward over here. Yep, and there you go. Ooh, man, Soyuz has some really good torp protection. I forgot about that. But there you go. 3 dev strikes, 3 kills, 178,000 damage in the YOLO Emilio. Those are pretty much all full health kills, too. So that should net him quite a bit. Yeah, 857,000 credits. What was his XP? Just a little under 1,900 base XP there. He came in front of the Alaska that got a Kraken, though. That's interesting. So yeah, I mean, the battle's pretty one-sided, but I mean, hey, we like Paolo runs here, right, fellas? But yeah, moral of the story, pay attention to your surroundings. Not everything's going to pop up in the game and let you know. There's not going to be a notification for every single thing that could potentially kill you. You have to be aware of your surroundings. Again, that Soyuz there at the end, if he would have been looking around, paying attention to, well, he was literally spotted, he could have turned down and at least make him work a little bit harder for the kill. would have had more time to position his guns and ruin his day. Obviously, the match already lost at that point too. But the same with the carrier and the Delaware, very, very poor situational awareness. The carrier, I mean, really, he should know with that giant open slot of water there that there's probably going to be DDs pouring through there, so you really should have been moving a lot sooner. That's the way you catch a lot of CVs off guard. They get too comfortable, they're just sitting in their spawn position, and they don't move. You know, most carrier players, they'll wait for a minute or two, see which way the game's going to go, and then they'll start their carrier in the direction of their team, because carriers left out on the open, like we see here, yeah, that's a very easy kill for a lone DD. Paolo or not, really, because carriers don't have any artillery on them unless you're the Great Zeppelin. So once that carrier gets caught alone by a DD, it's pretty much game over from there at that point, unless you're like a Nakamal or something, of course, with the skip bombers. But anyway, guys, just a pretty fun replay I want to share with you guys here. Thank you, Electric, for sending that in. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have a wonderful Friday and wonderful weekend. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.